Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the Neca Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze, Professor Jordan Perry, and there are two different versions in this pack. We have one with a bow tie and a lab coat, and one in an orange jumpsuit when he was on the construction area. I'm actually shocked that they would make a two-pack with two Jordan Perry figures. Can't imagine this is going to be a hot item, although this is exactly the type of action figure that I'm into. I got this from the Neca toy store. It arrived today, so let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze, Professor Jordan Perry. Here they are with all their accessories, and they come with a ton of cool stuff. One side of the package, here he is in a lab coat. Other side, here he is in the jumpsuit. On the back, here's Professor with the turtles, and here are a bunch of different display options. At the bottom, there is the barcode, if that helps anybody. So no further ado, let's open them up. Alright, now that these figures out of the package, here they are with all their accessories laid out. They come with a whole lot of cool stuff. We have tons of different vials and beakers and all kind of different lab equipment. I see a clipboard, a couple pairs of removable glasses, a couple of alternate right hands, a hard hat, and a couple of TGRI containers. Before I load all that, let's talk about and check out the figure. So this is Jordan Perry. He's from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 2. He's a scientist, played by David Warner, fantastic actor, rest in peace, he passed away in recent history. His main function in the Turtle movie universe was to dispose of the ooze. He was getting rid of it, and some of it fell into the sewer, turning the turtles into who they are. Of course, he got rid of pretty much all the ooze, but Shred was able to get one or two canisters, and he made Toka Razor as well as the Super Shredder. Still, it's a really cool scientist figure. We have one that's in his sort of lab outfit, and it looks very dorky. His plaid shirt, bow tie, his pants are flooding, you see his socks. And then we have one in sort of a construction outfit. I can put both these guys to a ton of use in my action figure world. So really looking forward to this 2-pack, and it's interesting to make a 2-pack of the same guy, just in different outfits, and to make it a civilian, boring type character. I think that's awesome. Thank you, Neca. This is right up my alley, and we have so many props and accessories. In this video, we're going to take a look at both the figures. We'll take a look at all the accessories, height and articulation, and they'll compare them with a bunch of figures from different various companies. So here's the scientist version of Jordan Perry. Face, it looks pretty good. Looks like David Warner. Not perfect, but I can totally see it there. It's a little bit exaggerated, his expression. He's got his hair part in the middle, down both sides, the bow tie, sort of plaid shirt. He just looks kind of dorky, the stereotypical lab scientist guy. TGRI, little badge there. Looks like double jointed elbows done in that unique, weird Neca style. Single jointed knees. He's got regular brown slacks. Like I said, you can see his pants a little bit too high. Socks all bunched up there. Dress shoes. TGRI in the back. As a whole, this is the type of figure I love adding to the collection. I can use this guy for so many things. And then, of course, we have the construction version. He even has a hard hat to add, but you can see he's wearing the same clothes underneath. The face, a little bit more of a normal expression. I assume I'm going to be able to swap the heads out. TGR badge again. This guy will go good with a bunch of other figures like this, and we'll check them out in this video. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. Just has kind of a weird sort of surprised expression. Looking to one side, but the hair, the eyes, it's like they nailed it, but something's a little bit off. Can't even quite put my finger on it. And then the other one, this one has a little bit more of a normal expression. I think this one seems a little bit more appropriate on the lab version. Looks good, stern, serious, and the likeness is definitely there. Did you guys know that in the original version of Ninja Turtles 2, Jordan Perry was supposed to be an Utrom? Neutrom is the race that Krang is. He was supposed to have sort of a brain-type character inside of his belly, but they abandoned that early on. And here are the figures, broken down as far as they can go, with all of their removable parts detached. Yes, you can remove and swap their heads. A lot of different options here. Now check out their accessories. And let's start off with their hands. They each have a total of 3 hands, 1 left hand and 2 right hands, and they have the same set of hands for each figure. Here they are, with their first set of hands. These are the main hands that make sense to have on these figures. His right hand sort of relaxed. His left hand's a gripping hand with a pretty small grip. They also come with an alternate right hand. It's a gripping hand with a much larger grip to hold some of the beakers and stuff. Now let's check out his heads. There comes a total of 2 heads for this entire set, one for each guy, but they have different expressions. The one on the left has a little bit of a weird expression. You can sort of see his teeth, his mouth a little bit exposed. He looks a little bit surprised. And the one on the right is a pretty normal, traditional stern expression. Here he is with his first head. This one has a little bit of a surprised expression. And then his other head. This one has the more normal expression. I like this head. Wish it came with 2 like this. And then we have his glasses. He has 2 pair, so you can display both the figures with glasses on at the same time, or both the figures with the glasses off. Here are the 2 figures without the glasses, and here they are with the glasses on. The glasses actually look to be different. Lens is different size, and they look to be specific per head. The large ones only fit on the regular head, and the other ones seem to only fit on this head. Now for his hard hat. Simply an orange hard hat. Looks pretty good. Here's the construction version of Jordan Perry with the hard hat attached. Fits good, looks good, and seals the entire look. He also comes with a TGRI mutagen canister, one empty and one full. So you can see, it says TGRI. This one is full of the green mutagen. And then we have this one here, and it's completely empty. And yes, he has a large hand that can hold the mutagen canister. He also has his clipboard. Now what's a scientist without his clipboard? Clipboard itself looks good. Made of sort of the brown wooden type material. It's got the clip on the top. There's a bunch of text on there, and I think you can actually read it, but I can't tell what it says. Still, very, very cool and useful accessory. Here's Professor Jordan holding and looking at his clipboard. And then here's all this lab equipment. He has so much stuff. I think it's awesome. I can make a fantastic lab scene and diorama with this stuff. We've got vials, beakers, burners, all kind of different stuff. Sort of semi-transparent cup here. You can see it's got a little sort of tip to pour out of. Got 2 of those. We have some of these round, sort of circular type beakers. Green one here, blue one there, and you can put those on top of the little burner type things like that. This thing is really cool. It's got a bunch of different vials, and they fall through, but they don't fall all the way through. This thing looks awesome. A couple of sort of semi-transparent little containers back there. Another one of these circular type things. Add that onto the burner as well. And then this large sort of beaker thing with little wire tube thing sticking out. You can go on top of that. Very, very cool. So I have this wooden lab table that I got off eBay a long time ago, and I wish I'd gotten more. This thing is made out of wood. I assume it's handmade. It looks about perfect for a sort of lab table. This will be a great place to put all these lab props. Here's a look where that lab table normally stays, in the Batcave. Batman's sort of chem lab. Sometimes I'll also keep it in my Weyland-Yutani base and my alien shelf. Here's all this lab equipment set up onto this lab table. Looks fantastic. Only thing missing is a microscope. Another accessory he could have come with, but this came with Shredder from Ninja Turtles 2. It's just large, overgrown sunflower. Now, when he found the sort of area where the mutagen was dumped into, they were trying to clean the river, and they found some giant, overgrown sunflowers, implying the mutagen had affected them. Now they've taken a pretty good look at the figures and their accessories. Now for their height. From bottom to the top of his head, the lab one about 7.1 inches tall, and the construction guy about 7.2 inches tall, which can translate to around 18 centimeters. And now for his articulation, which should be pretty similar on the 2 figures. First of all, his head, ball joint, rotate side to side. You can look up and down a little bit. You can tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders on a ball joint goes about 90 degrees. Up, down, around. He's got double jointed elbows, and I've never been a fan of how Neca's been doing this. They have this smaller piece that looks a little off between the bicep and the forearm. Here's the top part going in, then the bottom part. It has rotation at the top. It also has rotation at the bottom. His wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged. His torso's one solid piece. It looks pretty cool inside of here. Ball joint his waist, rotate around, forward and back, although it looks a little weird when you pull it forward. Legs, complete as the splits, ball joints inside of there. The legs can rotate independently into the ball. Then go forward, about that much, back, not much. Single jointed knee with rotation. And then his ankle, forward and back, rotate, tilt, rock. Pretty nice indeed. And now for the orange jumpsuit's articulation. His head, exact same thing, rotate, up and down, a little bit less perhaps. Tilt, side to side. Shoulders, ball joint. Same type of double jointed elbows. His wrists are exactly the same. His waist, ball joint, rotate around, forward and back. Legs, same type of articulation, ball joints. Single jointed knee, rotation, and the ankles, forward and back. Rotate, tilt, rock, at least a little bit. Here's a look at both versions of the Jordan Perry figure. The scientist version on the left holding his clipboard, and then the sort of construction worker with the hard hat holding the large sunflower on the right, with the lab diorama between them. Fantastic addition to the collection. Now let's check them out. Next to some other action figures. We'll start off by comparing the scientist version of Jordan next to a bunch of other scientist figures, and then the construction one with some other jumpsuit workers, etc. Then we'll check them out with some Ninja Turtle 2 figures and some action figures from different various companies. Now, the first figure I wanted to put this guy next to when I got him in hand was the 1955 Back to the Future Doc Brown. These guys are both scientists. They're both in sort of dorky, old school outfit, and I think they look great together. And here he is, next to a Diamond Select DST Gotham Edward Nygma on the left, and then another one on the right with a head swap with another scientist. Then, next to a DC Direct Arkham City Hugo Strange, he's in his lab outfit. And now, with a DC Direct Dr. Harleen Quinzel from Arkham Origins, also in her lab outfit, doctor's outfit. Next, with the Diamond Select Toys Battlestar Galactica figure. Now, she's not intended to be sort of a lab scientist type person, but that's what I use it for in my collection. And finally, with the Mattel Ghostbusters Egon, Peter, and Ray in their scientist lab outfits. And here, next to a NECA animated Baxter Stockman figure. And then let's check out what I call the sort of construction worker Jordan, or at least in his jumpsuit, next to some other appropriate type figures. Here he is next to a NECA Back to the Future Doc and Marty. They're in their radiation suits. And here he is next to a couple of Mezco Breaking Bad figures. These guys are in orange jumpsuits or hazmat suits, matching this Jordan figure. Then, with the same Mezco Breaking Bad figures in yellow jumpsuits. And now, with the same Breaking Bad figures in white hazmat or jumpsuits. These guys work pretty good for some sort of lab technicians or background characters in laboratories. They also make these Mezco figures in teal jumpsuits, and I'd love to get a pair of those, but kind of low on my priority list. And I got 2 of these 2-packs. Well, you could never have too many foot soldiers, that was the main reason why. Then, next to the foot soldier 2-pack from the second film. And I did get 3 of these 2-packs, once again, to have more foot soldiers for my army. If you had these, and the sort of fat foot soldiers from the Kino pack, I've got 8 foot soldiers from the second film, and 8 foot soldiers from the first film, giving me a pretty big foot clan. And the first 2-pack from the Turtles 2 film they made was a deluxe 2-pack with Toka and Razor. Fantastic pack that they have expanded on those characters from the second film immensely at this point. Here are these Jordan figures, next to the second film Kino. This is the deluxe one that came with a scooter. Then, next to the regular Shredder from the second film, he actually captured Jordan and forced him to make Toka and Razor for him. And now, next to 3 different variations of the Super Shredder, he's from the end of the second film, he used the mutagen. Now that pretty much concludes my second film collection. I didn't get the basic Turtles from the second film, as they're so similar to the first film Turtles. And what other characters could they make from the second film? Well, personally, I would love Tatsu, but I'm pretty sure NECA's unable to make him from any incarnation. And then, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Vanilla Ice figure. Neca said there were going to be some more surprises coming from this film. Here are the Neca turtles from the first film. These turtles are fantastic, almost perfect. I passed on getting the turtles from the second film as they're very similar to these guys, but considering I have every other release from the second Turtles film, it makes me kind of second guess that decision. Now let's check them out. Next is some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how they fit in, both scale and style-wise. In case you want to know which lines you can mix them with, since they're NECA toys, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start with my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work way smaller. But first, let's check them out with some of their NECA brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from NECA toys, all 7-inch scale. And now, next to some Jack-specific wrestling figures, and some DST or Diamond Select toys. Here they are, next to a bottle of mustard. And here they are, next to some McFarlane and DC Direct figures. Then, next to both some Mattel and Jazzwares wrestling figures. And now, with some Mezco and Mattel figures. Next, with some Mafex and Hasbro Marvel Legends. And finally, next to some SH Figuarts and some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, I think this is a fantastic action figure set. I know a lot of people will say these figures are boring. It's just Jordan as a scientist and in a sort of construction outfit. But I think that is great. These guys have a place in my action figure collection for sure. This is right up my alley. This is the type of action figures I'd love to buy. Their accessories are fantastic. A ton and ton of lab stuff. The clipboard, glasses, hard hat, beakers, vials. It's all there. The 2 figures themselves, sculpt and paint job, are excellent, top-notch. Articulation is also great. Maybe a little bit limited in the knees, and I don't really like the way they do the double-jointed elbows, but they actually look better on these figures than most of their weird double-jointed elbows that NECA releases. This is the exact type of action figure that I want in my collection. Civilians, double for scientists, I can put them to a ton of use. If I were to rate these figures, I'm going to give this 2-pack a solid 8 out of 10. I love it. I think the likeness is good. I love the actor. I love the figure. Like I said, it's all here for D Hunter. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.